Ready, Mr.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Today, Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2026, time 7:12 p.m. Order Mayor Eddie Norman.
Time to report a little down.
Let's go over to that.
Alderwoman Kimberly Pinchon. Alderwoman Joanna Garnett.
Alderwoman Virginia Rivers.
Alderwoman Mary Mason.
Alderman Alethea Harris.
Town Attorney Carson Butler.
Okay. Everybody at 10. And we open prayer by Alderman River.
Let's bow. Father God, we come now to say thank you for being God. Thank you for this day. Now, Lord, that we are gathered here, we ask that you govern our minds, our hearts, and help us to lead, to agree and lead this town in the right direction. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Number one, we got the vote to the USA Congressman David Costo. They're going to postpone it for the next meeting. New business and old business. Do you have anything to discuss?
Actually, if I could, the new business, the old business was supposed to be after the reading of the proposed revision of the town charter. So
Okay,
if I
we
could
just-
just flip that, we can just get right into it. But I want to say that Logan Stafford of David Kostop's office is going to come on the 17th when the comptrollers and T-Boy will be here. So that will be his date. Okay, and on the revision reading of the proposed charter, I would like to just, because people have asked, why now, why are we doing a revision of the charter? And I just want to give a really brief background of that. 3 years ago, when there was a lot of talk about Ford and the growth of the town, we had a lady come and speak to us. Her name was Isa Reed. She was with Gresham and Smith, and she had been awarded funds from the government to do a review on every community around Ford to see how stable they were, what they needed to do to grow, and that type of thing. So she asked a lot of questions. I mean, everything. There was demographic numbers and all kinds of facts about the town. But she came back and she had a list of findings that she said needed to be fixed for the town for us to be competitive, streamlined, operating. One of those, if you'll recall, was we gave too many outside vendors power over what we were doing. So she wanted us to move the bookkeeping in-house, namely the finance team that we had at the time. They were all subcontractors. So that's what happened with Miss Vernita coming in-house with that. But she also told us that our best bet would be to move to a town administrator type government, because that was what was trending for a lot of towns, and it was streamlining things to have that done. So we voted on that 3 years ago actually. We voted the first time, and the majority passed it. It was unanimous that we were going to go with the town administrator, change our private charter to that type of government. Then a year later, we voted again. It came up and we voted again and again. It was a unanimous vote that we go to the public administrator. So the text was sent in, and the town actually went to work with, I'd say the town, but it was actually State Representative Deborah Moody and Senator Paul Rose, who were sponsoring us in this town administrative process. So the comptrollers and the legal team at the Capitol went to work on it. And it went up for a vote to the floor, and it was pulled on the day that it was supposed to be voted. But that was over a year ago. And once it was pulled, it could not go back. They went out of session, and they said, you're just going to have to wait another year, because they thought that the charter needed cleaned up. There was too many inconsistencies, which we just heard about in the back room. So they said, you're going to have to wait till next year. So it's been worked on for this past year again, and rewritten and cleaned up. And that's why it has come now, because it is now time for this to be voted on at the Capitol in Nashville. And this was the only time of the year that it is voted on. So that's why the timing of it. It has nothing to do with the arguments we're having today about certain things and, you know, the inconsistencies and the problems with policies, and it's not a get even kind of thing. It's something that has been over 3 years in the works, and it's just now come at this time. Anyway, so I wanted to explain that so that you know why this is happening, and Representative Deborah Moody and of course Senator Paul Rose are again sponsoring the bill, and it has been reviewed by the Tennessee comptrollers, and MTAS has also assisted in some of the language to make sure that it's correct. It's been through a team of lawyers. They've looked at it, and so now is the time that it's we have to decide again.
Okay,
Go forward.
let me
So-
answer for your presentation. Appreciate it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we read the report from ICE-READ. ICE-READ, you say 1, 2, 3. What you do, you have to bring everything is home. What we did is for the finance, we got Ms. Vanita. We let any contracts go. After that, everything was not happy with the board. The board filed a motion to remove the mayor because I took this step for it. The second thing is for the public work. We bring everything is home. We save a lot of money for them. And after that, some board members are not happy with that. And they just, some people in the board, they have a personal problem with the mayor and how we run the town. If you look to the big pictures up there, 2022, the state of Tennessee come in here, build the charter from the town of Mason because too much corruption and going on. And after that, we come in here. I have been there in the office for 3 years. We turn it around. We have a surplus. Everything is fine. We run with the minimum expenses. Town administrator, you have to give him 65,000 above whatever it is. Did you know? And to me, why you gonna have a mayor on the board and you have a town administrator? You bring him from outside the city. Maybe he live here, maybe not. End of the day, the bigger picture is you're gonna guys move the charter. This is the bigger picture. Whatever you call it, right or left, you lose the charter of the town. You hand it to somebody. Employee is not elected. I'm not against it, you know, but I'm explaining to everybody. What I recommend is to do this kind of thing here, because Mason is found 19th century, and you coming guys here for a day or two or a year or two, try to give the charter to somebody or the state, whatever it is, you have to have a public hearing. The citizen of Mason, you have the right to know what we voting for. You give your charter away, so you don't have any right. So why are you gonna have an election for the board or a mayor every year? It's just a frame, and somebody else run the whole town. So the people have to know exactly what's going on behind the scene. Behind the scene is take your charter, take your 18th century history about the town. You give it away. Did you know? This is what I look at it. And if I'm wrong, I need somebody correct me, because the board, he don't have any. I know that the town administrator is going to hire by the board. The mayor, it will be big short. The mayor got elected, make $500. The board got elected, make $100. And you're going to bring the one, make $60, $65, or $70, $75,000. He's going to do the same thing to you guys what you do. Plus, this town is 2 miles. We're not 20, we're not Kaivo, we're not Mason, we're not Covington. We're not ready for it yet. This is the way I look at it. If somebody want to have a question for it, I appreciate it. Answer. Yes, Mr. Rubin.
Wait, you finna talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate your opinion, and you know, you said what you wanted to say, and I just would like to add about an administrator, okay? The thing with an administrator is that they have a degree, but they also have experience. We plan to hire someone with experience. They have experience at managing businesses and all types of in corporate settings and PR and all of the jobs that come with being a mayor of a town. A mayor can't be everything to everybody because they're not trained to be everything to everybody before they take office. And they don't have the time to learn all of those jobs. And I'm saying, you're working hard. Yes, we agree with that. But there are things that are being left undone and not taken care of. We're being left out of a lot of the growth aspects of the town because Ford will not work with us right now. We have grants out there that we could probably get if we had the administrator working on them. We have had, right now, we're involved in lawsuits. We've got disagreements on policies. We have tons of things to catch up on. We don't do purchase order systems like we're supposed to. We don't follow our budget policies. We're out spending money that's not been appropriated and all these other things. And this is what an administrator will fix and keep us from doing. Because if we continue to go this way, we're not going to exist as a town for long. I mean,
Yeah, it's just your
you can like-
opinion. Yeah,
that is my
your
that is
opinion.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would like to do, if anybody has any questions about the charter revisions before I just read a brief, but go ahead.
Go on, you talking.
No, I was going to read a brief
Go ahead.
introduction,
Go
but
ahead.
actually,
Okay, before you
I'd
read
like
it-
to call on
Yeah.
Mr. Llewellyn,
Excuse me.
who's going to give a
Excuse me.
brief.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Before you go further with it, let me explain to everybody how is it.
Don't go back.
No, I'm not going back, but I'll explain to you how we reach. You say the mayor is not qualified to hold
I
the
didn't say
position,
you were
whatever it is. But if you look in the record, back and then, okay, back whatever 2, 3, 4, whatever 20 years ago, you don't have all this kind of stuff and people is stealing the money, whatever it is. Right now, we surplus up there and we're doing good, everything under the control. This is what I'm trying to pretend to the west and south up there. And right now, you support me. Did you know to fire all the bad habits back then? Whatever
Yes.
the public work,
Yes, I did.
whatever the fire department, whatever it is. But
Yes.
when I start coming up there, is to go more for the second step to stop people abusing the system, stealing more money. I'm tired, and two people got indicted. You got hot, you got mad because I don't want to say black and white issue. You follow what I'm saying? So the end of the day is what I see is personal.
No.
This we talking. It's a personal. Everything that was backward, stealing, losing, whatever it is. I come 3 years ago. We work together. We fix it. We have surplus.
And I
It's correct.
supported you.
It's correct.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. You helped me to clean up the
Yes,
bad
I did.
habit and stuff like that.
Yes, I
and be
did.
supporting the work. And when I start to step in somebody else, your friend, you just got defended.
That's not true.
Okay.
I have told you repeatedly
Okay.
why I stopped supporting you
Okay.
in the way that I did before, and that was because you promised me that you would abide by all of the codes of the charter and of the state laws by making sure that people got their licenses, their proper fees, their inspections for
We
their
do,
buildings.
ma'am. We
and
do.
all of those
Everybody
things.
have a
And
license.
you lied to me. You didn't
I
do
don't
that.
lie to you about nothing. Everybody, wherever any business coming, they have, his business certification of occupancy, everything, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, when I step to argue with your friend, you got hot, you got mad,
Who are
you
you
flipped to
talking about?
another front. Okay, man. Just go
Okay,
ahead.
since we are at a special called meeting, we are limited to discussion as to what's on the
Yes.
agenda, and
Right.
it seems to be getting a little
Yes.
bit
Okay.
It's
away
too-
from that.
Miss
I was
Carol,
going
Miss Carol, what do you think, Miss Carol?
Wait,
about
my
this?
hand. When he asked you, so no, you raise your hand.
And all I want to say is this, Mayor, and I've listened to what you were saying, and we just need to handle what's here in front of us. And I do want to say this to you, is that when she plainly told you from the beginning that lawyers, MTAS, and different people have looked at this. There's nothing wrong with it. This is fine. However, Mayor, you made us some statements that about we giving the charter to our Mayor, can I finish?
I'm just telling you, what you correct is true.
But that's not true.
It's true, man.
Mayor, what we're doing, we're not giving anybody our charter. I think you misunderstanding the whole thing. That's
Keep going, man. Keep going.
what I'm trying to get you to understand. We're not handing our charter to anybody. We still will own our charter. It's the town. The town is not losing nothing other than trying to correct all that's been done wrong. And now that we need a new charter, we need correction, and this is it. This is what we need for our town. All that other stuff, we need to leave it behind, and let's deal with what we got in front of us, and that's this charter. So we can move forward, and 'cause we got other things that we got to discuss tonight.
Okay.
So now,
This is your opinion. Somebody else to give your opinion?
Miss Alethea,
Uh-huh.
I read your charter plan.
I'm sorry, the what?
This, you wrote this.
What's
not the
that?
charter.
I didn't say the charter, this was what they had at the top of the trail.
Oh,
You rewrote.
yes, what I was just saying about, yes.
Okay, but, and I read the resolution, but, you said that, some people have looked at this and that. So y'all compared the old charter to this charter.
Well, we still have the old charter, these are just changes
I
in the
know,
old
I'm
charter.
saying, so
Yes.
I'm saying with the guidelines of what,
Right.
the things that you're changing, what.
Right.
So, is it basically,
This
from looking at it, no, it's not the same. No,
It's some
Yep.
change.
I know, that's what I'm saying, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's
Right,
not
right, I'm
the
saying,
same.
so you
Changes in
taking,
it. Yes.
it's basically the mayor don't have any power.
Well, that's a town administrator setup, that's the way everybody that has a
other
town
towns
administrator is set
Have
up.
administrative, and they have a mayor, and I'm quite sure that the administrator does not tell the mayor what to do.
Well, no, that's not,
That's
he
not what
can
this
explain
is.
that.
But that's what this is, though.
Yes, it's correct.
That's what this is.
No.
I mean, I know y'all say y'all, I'm all for change. But when it's not being done the right way, just like Vice Mayor said, you can say it, but I promise you, everything that you said, it's gonna come to the light. I mean, because we've been in this, I've been in this going on 8 years and sitting on this board, listening to the same stuff. Nobody, you got your certain ones that they get together and they talk and they discuss and this and that, and they vote. Before I became an alderman, I came to some of the meetings and I listened and I saw the same thing. We had certain ones who always voted together. They always stuck together on everything. Sometimes you might come together and pass something. But this is our town. This is the people town.
I know.
So to me, if we're gonna make these changes, I think it would be fair that the people of the town of Mason
Correct.
know exactly what we're changing in the revision that you want to change in the charter.
Mhm.
I think they need to know what y'all want to change and explain to them why you want to change, not what Nashville and comptrollers and all these other people are saying we need to change Moody.
Well, that's why
Senator
they were
Rhodes.
all put
But
that's why
that's
we
what I'm
put a
saying.
notice out.
Why the notice? Okay, but you all want to change. You didn't put the note. You didn't say, well, let's have a town meeting so that we can explain to the people of Mason
Yep.
why we're doing what we're doing.
Right. And
So-
that's why we're having the meeting, and you see the town of,
No,
Mason,
this is not the town of Mason.
well, we put out a 48-hour notice, just like we do
No,
every
I'm
meeting.
talking about a town hall meeting so that you can go over, you can explain to the time. Y'all want to do it on other stuff, so why not this? This is a revision that you want to do to the charter. So what? I mean, what's the big deal that you can't do that and explain it to the people of Mason?
Well, I think that we've followed the procedures, and I want to address what you're saying about this takes all the power away from the mayor, because what I said was, if you look at any charter, Atoka, Martin, yeah, I don't care, you will see exactly almost the same language. It's not like I'm singling this out and making it different, but you just heard the attorneys back there say what a situation we have because the conflict in the charter with itself, ever since Kilpatrick changed it, it conflicts with itself, and we're going to keep ending up in the same courtroom battles of things if we don't determine what, or go back to what it was saying before, the way it was set up in the beginning.
Okay, so you said Kilpatrick changed it.
Yeah,
so she had a board back then, so they looked at it and they voted on the change, right?
I assume so.
Okay, so in the charter now it says that the mayor has a right to hire and fire.
With the ratification of the board, which means with the
I know for a fact that the mayor have fired and it wasn't no board involved.
I know that.
The change, it wasn't nothing when it was brought to the board. Did nobody question it or anything. The difference when one chief left and they brought the intern chief in, nothing was said.
That was before this.
Yeah, exactly. But I was there. I know
because it stayed the same through Emmett Gooden.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's the same now. So
yes.
Why, when he fired the chief, why did y'all go behind him?
Because the town is not operating. Because for the reason that she said that if you go to this, you are more likely to get grant funding. Right now, Mason has such a bad reputation. No one wants to risk.
We got everything.
Money.
We got the grant.
Wait a minute. I want Mr.
I'm just saying. I want the people of Mason to know exactly. You said it was a 48-hour notice. I don't think they probably didn't know that this is what.
I put that on the agenda and we published it. We published the agenda and I was pretty detailed.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that it didn't go out, but how many people do you actually think read?
But if you look at the agenda, I did explain
step
it.
in. The requirements for amending a charter is, the 48-hour notice, publishing the agenda.
I'm not questioning.
I know
Include the weekend.
Yes, exactly. Discussing it at a public meeting like you're doing here, and then approving it. That's the procedure that state law provides for. And so by complying with that, it's being proper as far as bringing it to this meeting here. Now, it's up to the board whether it's approved or not.
And I made sure that I was very detailed in what we were going to be discussing.
I'm not questioning the report. I'm not questioning that.
But also,
No, I'm not.
let me ask
I
you something.
don't need nobody to say. I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying what would be fair. I know you saying okay, it was posted and this and that and all that, but it's not right. It's not fair to the town people because if things change, first thing I guarantee you, somebody gonna come. I didn't know that. When did y'all change that? It was the same way when they went in and redid some of the other changes. People didn't know what they had done, even if they published or whatever. They had problems because they didn't know. Because it wasn't explained to the town people. Regardless, they can read all day long, but they probably come up here and read this, but they not gonna just really understand it unless somebody here, a lawyer or whatever, explain to them what exactly does this mean.
I understand what you're saying,
That's all I'm saying.
and you're you're okay with your opinion, and you're right. But I long gave up the trying to explain to people because they didn't seem to really be interested, as evidenced by the crowds that we get here at our meetings. Even though you please
All
come
right,
and
Mr.
vote.
Enrique, Miss Alicia.
But I still,
Miss
what
Alicia.
I, no, I want,
Yeah,
let
we're
him
gonna
talk.
let him go. Miss Alicia, to solve the problem and everybody be in the same page for almost 3 years. I take over the office here, you know for a fact some certain people not recognize me as a mayor. Since day one, I have a problem. Even we ended in the court, even violate the charter, violate everything, and fire me. And we go back to the code 18
I
and
know,
17.
I remember.
So you know the whole issue
Yes,
is
yes.
is not the town, the whole issue personal. Eddie, the whole
But this is
issue.
not
This is
personal.
No, it's a personal.
You think it is,
Yes,
but that doesn't
yes, ma'am.
make it
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
So, I'm misconstrued myself. I wanna know, so when we hire a town administrator, we're only gonna have a mayor that's gonna be a puppet, pretty
That's
much.
correct.
That's gonna be doing like ribbon cuttings,
Shaking hand.
shaking hands. I mean, I want to get some clarification because if that's all he's gonna do, why do we need a mayor?
It's correct, but this is my question.
For all those
Actually,
towns.
let me say.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Let me say-
I'm not talking
let me
about
say- let me say this.
Let me
We don't
just
need
tell-
him. We don't need
No.
a mayor.
Wait a
I'm-
minute,
I-
let
it-
me,
it-
say,
can I
Everybody
say
didn't see. It wasn't said when Melvin, it was said when Melvin.
We would try to change
it.
It was said when Kim Patrick, she made some revision, but nobody ever came in and tried to remove her from her position and all of the wrongdoing that these past people have done to this town, and we're suffering, we're paying for this. We're paying for this, not the outsiders. Are y'all forgetting that the town is paying for this?
And we don't forget.
And we're
Well, it looks
But-
like y'all have, we still paying,
Wait a
money is coming
wait a
out of
minute.
our taxpayers' money.
She
I-
had the
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
Tawana, I want to
Be fair
answer your
about it.
question. I want to answer your question. I will tell you why you have a mayor. Look at Galloway. Look at Bucky's that's going to be coming to Galloway. Okay? Look at that Helena Troy, that huge building, and all of the money that they've managed, income, revenue, that they've managed to bring to Galloway. That was all done by a town administrator, not the mayor. The town administrator went out and got
I don't know.
But-
I don't know.
but-
Galloway have a town administration,
They
and I
did.
think Jimmy is doing a good job.
They
You
have,
follow what I'm
they have a
saying?
town
He
administrator.
doing a good job.
Does get it down.
I'm just saying, this is
Yeah.
a
But can
fact.
I say this, but it's like he's saying that, and I understand what Miss Carolyn is trying to say, is that it seemed like the mayor won't, but the mayor has a job. This is just saying in here, the mayor still has to be able to talk to the people, bring people into this town.
Yes.
Has to be, he got a
And
job.
bring business, yes.
Yeah, he has to handle
But
the
that
other.
ain't what this saying.
But this right here, only thing it's saying is he no longer can hire and fire by him, which the other charter did too. Except the thing is that it would ignore the ratification part, would ignore it. But the mayor was never supposed to hire and fire without the ratification of the board. And the ratification of the board means that it's supposed to came before the board, and the board made the decision. He didn't just supposed to get up
No,
and
no,
do
no,
it on
no,
his
no,
own.
no, no. It
No,
makes
no,
it
no.
that. Hold on.
Okay, so you
if
tell
that
me
was
that a
the
token writing, when they
Now,
marry
I don't know
somebody,
what they do.
well, I'm just saying, y'all saying that they have the same
Yes.
No, no,
religion.
yes,
Yes,
I know.
yes,
Well,
please.
I did
you
say
say
that.
y'all.
But
So
wait,
I'm telling you this.
ladies,
But
ladies,
please,
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 this is what y'all going on. I'm not here to argue to one. I just want to
Look,
justification.
I'm just saying, why,
Because
okay,
it's
so
not- it's
y'all
not
made
right.
all these changes, why you
We
just
did.
didn't put in there that the mayor could not hire and fire? That's all the changes that I see that could have been made. Because, I mean, yeah, it's like you're taking all of the power away. All he gonna be doing is cutting ribbons, shaking hands, and giving speeches here, there, and yonder. I don't
That's
know.
why
You
I
didn't
have
have to run
asked
for a
for
mayor, you didn't have to run
Mr.
for the
Llewellyn to
Yeah,
explain
Vice
if
Mayor,
you
Vice Mayor, he
will.
wanna
Just
talk.
stop talking, please. Go
Hey,
ahead,
Miss
James,
Alicia, Miss
please.
Alicia, the vice mayor,
No.
you wanna talk, please. Go ahead, Mr. I'll pick it back up. Okay. All right, because I have some to say.
I'm here to answer any questions that you have about what the charter says. Ms. Harris, explained at the beginning how we came here. The comptroller's office recommended some changes to the charter. I want to be clear, though, that Representative Moody and Senator Rose are not advocating for this. The way the process works is a municipality adopts a resolution saying we'd like to amend our charter. And then in order to get a bill introduced into the General Assembly, somebody has to introduce that bill. So you go to your senator and you go to your representative and you ask them to introduce the bill for you. So with this resolution, what you're doing is asking them to introduce the bill for you, and they will. And then the bill will be considered, it'll go through committee, and last year was the first time the Charter Commission had really been structured and did a complete review of the charter changes along with the comptroller's office. And they didn't approve the bill last year because there were too many inconsistencies. It created a town administrator, but it still gave, in some places it gave the authority to the mayor, in other places it gave authority to the town administrator. So they said those inconsistencies won't work. It needs to be redone. It has been changed. There is a bill. There's the comptroller's office sent to the legal team at the General Assembly, and the legal department in the General Assembly drafted a bill. And it was ready to be introduced, and then the comptroller's office contacted, I think it was, and I may be not clear on the exact way everything fell into place, but Representative Moody was ready to introduce the bill, and I contacted them and said, you can't introduce it yet because the board hasn't approved the resolution. So drafted a resolution for y'all to look at. If you approve the resolution, it goes through the process. If it passes in the House and it passes in the Senate, and then it's signed by the governor, it has to come back to Mason, and you have to ratify it by 2/3 majority for it to become law. When you ratify it, then it becomes law at that point. So if you want to know the roles and how things work, I'm happy to answer those questions for you. So whatever you.
I just
Well,
want you to
answer.
answer the question as to why, because they have a question, she has a question, and kind of similar is why go to this and take a lot of these responsibilities away from the mayor? Can you help to explain that? Because I'm not doing a very good job of it, I guess.
Well, as mayors come and go, you have some mayors who are very competent and know how to run the city, and then you have other mayors elected who are not really very adept at running the city and don't really know the intricacies of town government. Town administrator is a professional city manager. The reason you hire a town administrator is the same reason you hire a police chief. Y'all don't know how to run a police department. Y'all don't know how to run a fire department. So you hire a fire chief and a police chief to do that. You hire a finance director to manage your finances because they're a professional finance director. You hire a town administrator to tie all those functions together, to understand compliance, to understand the finances of the town, and to answer to all of the board members individually. The town administrator answers to the entirety of the board. The mayor is a board member. That doesn't change. The mayor is still a voting member of the board. The mayor just doesn't have responsibility for hiring and firing employees. The board is responsible for the town administrator and the quality of his work, just like you're responsible to the finance director, the police chief, and the fire chief. If you have a problem with their leadership, you change leadership and you bring in someone else. You're not giving any of your responsibilities away. You're hiring someone to help you with your responsibilities, with your compliance, with your reporting, with getting you the information you need in order to be able to govern. But you're not diminishing the authority, you're delegating authority. And if those rules delegated down to your police chief, he's going to operate within those rules. delegate authority over to the town administrator, he or she is going to have to operate within those rules. They run the town the way you want it to be run. And you still get to decide how you want the town to be run.
Okay.
So that's essentially the role.
So
Can I
then
say-
the question is wait a minute, the question is, you were a town administrator for 23 years in Collierville.
35, but
Mayors came and went, and some of them didn't know very much about running a town or doing anything, but you were consistently managing the town so that it didn't matter that you changed leadership constantly or board members. You were pretty much in the right direction at all times, the same direction. Okay, so you gave the town some consistency and, you know, your talents and skills and all of that. But I guess the question is what are the duties that an administrator brings that probably don't get done by most mayors? I mean, if you can say that, what are things that fall through the cracks all the time? And I guess that's what I'm saying.
well, I mean, what does the town administrator do? First of all, making sure that you're complying with all the things you're supposed to be complying with, making sure that everybody's following the board's policies, and to be specific, budgeting. One of the most important things the town administrator does is put together a budget every year for the board to approve, and putting together an audit report, and managing the finances of the town so that the board knows what your resources are, they know what your liabilities are, and making sure that you're managing the town. You're also managing all the other departments. You're managing the HR function, you're managing all the legal issues, and you're coordinating more than managing, but coordinating with the police department, fire department, public works. And so you're doing that because most mayors have a full-time job. And most cities have more work than a part-time mayor can do. So essentially, the city administrator, I met with the board and the aldermen every week, and I consulted with them on what the problems were and how they felt about them and what we should do about them. So you go sit down with the mayor or the alderman and you say, well, you know, we've got this problem and here's what I think we ought to do about it. You come to them with solutions and the board either approves it or doesn't, but you know, you still bring all the actions to the board, mayor, and alderman. What you do is you have someone who has enough time to go into a lot of background and provide a lot of information and give the board the information and the background on the subjects that maybe a full-time mayor who's working a regular job doesn't have the opportunity to do.
So just to prove the point then, or what I would like to ask you in thinking about all of that, is how many policies or procedures, since you're privy to this knowledge, would you say that are not being done with this town right now? How many, if you said how many policies and procedures we should be doing that we're not, what kind of an estimate would you give on that? Just to.
Well, that's the thing the comptroller's office is going to be here about. I mean, you know.
Well, would you say it ranges just a few or more than a few, or, I mean.
If I could jump in here, try to limit, like we said earlier, the special meeting, limit discussion about the charter, specifically the proposed charter, instead of outside areas.
All
like
right,
that.
let me
Yeah.
explain something,
Good
if you
point.
don't mind, please. If you don't mind, please. You mentioned up there about office administration. You have been there for 30, 35 years, wherever all this mayor. So let me understand. I'm talking about Mason. Mason for almost since 18, wherever it is. All these mayors, whatever accomplished for the town back there, you don't have an office manager or office administrator, whatever. And they bring it back business to the town, and the town was booming back then, okay? And in 2022, the state come and pulled the charter from the town because we in the raid, we run in the hidden direction, whatever. But since I take my office, you know, I turn everything around with consulting with the state. I'm some board member, is not all member. Look at my record. I don't talk. If you don't mind, please. I don't talk. I do. And I'm making $500 a month part-time. And you want to bring $65,000 or $70,000 a person, he or she up there. With this money, doing it, I can buy equipment. I can improve my street. I can follow the policy. I can do whatever I want to do. But right now, we're a small town, 2 miles. We bring a business. Look, since I take over, the whole town lighted up. More businesses, car civic, the revenue, the state support me. And they say since 1995, we're not in compliance with the audit. Since 19, and they come in here last year, 2025, support me. They say you're doing a great job. So for $500 a month, I treat everybody with respect. Before I have any case with them, with the chief, I consult with the vice mayor, with Miss Alicia. We have a meeting with them. I'm not taking any decision from my head. So if anybody put anything in me, I consult with people. I consult with Ronnie Neal every Tuesday. We have a meeting with the comptroller. Tell me, hey, we need 1, 2, 3. I follow the direction. Everything is fine. We change the town. We surplus. We're not in minus. Thank you.
So let me just go back and say we talked at the beginning that this is not supposed to be personal, because you're making a decision that's going to be with the town for the next so many years. So with all the things that you've accomplished, Mayor, the question is, what happens the next mayor and the next mayor and the next mayor? What is the best form of government for the town to have in the long run?
So all the mayor, you have to have a degree to run it, or we have to get somebody for 65. We in the red. You know, the town, the police department, they're at $16,000 every month. We not nothing coming from it. Right now we have close $1 million. I don't want to go down. I don't want to lose it. I'm trying to hang into it, wherever I can, until we got something more business, wherever. But I think we're heading in the right direction, and the state support me for that. Thank you. Yes, Vice Mayor.
I'm trying to let everyone have their say and hear all arguments and everybody's concerns. I myself, in the beginning of this, I have been an advocate for having a sort of government that was supported by the city administrator. My personally, and I'm going to take prison administration out of here. If everybody just take what we're seeing and what's going on in Mesa right now out of your heads. All this personally out of your heads. I'm looking at in a vacuum. It's just a few items, some language that's a little questionable for myself. Say, and I'm looking at this from down the road standpoint. And say, if myself, if I decided one day that I may have aspirations to run for mayor,
Yep.
and try to help the town in the best capacity that I have, some of the restrictions, and they may not be restrictions, but that's where I see them as restrictions. I feel like maybe we could look at and think about. I would hope and wish that a town administrator would be an assistant and a help to a person like myself or whomever who he or she may be. But it's like Section 9.02, and it's certain duties and points that I'm having a little question about if I was on the other end of it. And as far as with dealing with personnel altogether, I admit there's a lot of functions, there's a lot that it takes to run a town, and I've been getting well versed in this last year. But budget-wise, there's things that the mayor needs to know and needs to be able to do and accomplish running a town, and it should be delegated to a certain extent. And like I said, in a vacuum, from a different point of view, a different perspective, how the town administrator, the board, and the mayor coexist is something that I would like to sit back and talk about further and get some comparable with other towns, municipalities of this size, of our size, and our budget, if we will, or if we can have this opportunity, just the only thing that I see is just the personnel, and I'm seeing things that jump off the page at me that's a little troubling. But I'm not saying it can't be fixed. But right now, from what I'm seeing at this junction, I'm having some problems.
Can I just address that? The deadline for filing the bills is rapidly approaching. If you don't do something, then nothing's going to happen for another year.
What's
So-
the deadline for?
The deadline was like last Friday. I'm not sure exactly, Mayor, but the deadline for introducing bills has already passed. There's some leeway on the private act, but I was told that we needed to get this in by the first week of February in order to make sure that it got submitted this year. So if you want to study it, that's fine, but there's not a whole lot of time. If you want to make some changes, let us know what those are, and I'll be glad to get with the comptroller's office and start trying to make those changes.
Yes, sir.
I would like to say something, and I'm sorry, but you're probably going to shush me. But I'm sorry, because it is, there is something personal. It is something personal. I work every day. I don't know if y'all know that, but I work every day for the town. I do, and most people know that. I'm on the phone all day. I'm trying to answer people's questions. People on the board say, why doesn't anyone return my call? Why does no one talk to me? Why don't they tell me if I can come in if the city hall's open, or what's going on with the fire department, what's going on with the police department? I end up answering all of these questions because they don't hear from the mayor or anybody, any of his spokespeople. And for some reason, everybody thinks that I have all the answers for them. I don't know. But I'm getting very tired of doing that, and this is why I'm talking about all the things that are dropping through the cracks. I understand that you take care of certain things, and I realize you devote a lot of time to it. But I also know there's a lot more work that isn't getting done, and maybe you don't even know about that work. And I know that you have people that are supposed to be doing it, but they're not doing their job. So for some reason, there's a lot of work that falls on me for some reason. Somebody has to do it.
Okay.
If I quit doing it, someone has to.
Okay. I appreciate you for your concern, but put it in the website. If you have any concern, website, the Facebook, call me. I put my private number up there
I
for
know, but
anybody.
they say you never
Just
answer them.
come on, everybody.
Okay, that's what I
Come
got.
on. I answer even midnight. Come on, just
Okay.
come on.
All right.
And then also
I
in the
said
bill.
what I wanted to say.
In-
That's
in
all.
the bill.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, that was the intention.
I'm done.
And if, I would like to say, if the board is going to vote that, in the motion to state the caption at the top
That's what I
as
was
well,
gonna
and
do.
then for these types of matters, would personally to be as, and from a legal standpoint, to be as clear as possible, to have each person's vote listed in the minutes as to what each board member voted. So instead of just doing aye,
Before-
yes, yes, yes.
Before the voting, I request, like Alderman Kitron, we need a public hearing to let the people know what's going. That's it. I'm not gonna comment anymore there. All right, we need the motion. I have to wait until the vice president is coming.
I have to read the
Okay.
introduction. Okay, a resolution requesting Senator Paul Rosen, Representative Deborah Modi sponsor legislation before the General Assembly that amends sections 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 12, 15, and adding section 16 of chapter 120 of the Private Acts of 1915, as amended and rewritten by chapter 21 of the Private Acts of 2009, chapter 44 of the Private Acts of 2018, and any other amendatory thereto relative to the town of Mason. Whereas the town of Mason was incorporated under the
You
charter.
have to read the.
Okay, I was just going to read it
Yeah,
to
you
you.
can go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, under the charter, under chapter 120 of the Private Acts of 1915, and whereas the town of Mason has periodically requested the General Assembly change portions of its charter to fit the needs of the town. And that is what.
So that's your motion?
Yes.
Okay, I have first by Alderman Harris. Need a second?
Mason second.
Barry Mason, second. I need a vote.
We have to wait for the vice mayor to come back for the vote.
We need a vote. Mayor say no.
He called for a vote. I made the motion. She seconded. He's calling for
The
a
mayor
vote.
say no.
Mason, yes.
Rivers, yes.
Harris, yes.
Mayor no.
Taking
We don't know.
Before I make my vote, can I, if, so you're saying that the only change in here is that they didn't do is that the mayor can't hire and fire? Basically.
Department heads.
The-
Department.
Yes, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen will need to determine who are the appointed positions, and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen hire the appointed positions and department heads. Not all appointed positions are technically a department head. For example, the town recorder is an appointed position. But all the appointed positions answer directly to the majority vote of the board.
But the administrators gonna have more clout than the mayor.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that vote passed. I've got 4 yes, and that would be Alderman Harris, Alderman Mason, Alderman Rivers, and Alderman Broadbent. I've got 3 noes. Mayor Nolan, Vice Mayor Givan, and Alderman Petrie.
You have to have 5 votes, that's correct.
I think that's for when it comes back. After it goes through the General Assembly, like Mr. Llewellyn was saying, after it comes back to be approved and be effective into law, that's 2/3 vote there. This is to vote on sending it to the General Assembly.
It's a resolution. It only needs 4 votes.
The way I understand it from this right here, you have to have 5.
Or
No,
the,
that's an ordinance.
or it
That's
can become
ordinance.
effective whenever it comes back after the General Assembly, you'll need a 2/3 vote.
All right. Be ratified by 2/3.
Go for the second reading of the budget fiscal 2026 allow Jefferson Department Fund for to pay the code enforcement. Let me explain something about it.
Wait a minute. What are you reading? There's nothing about the.
Number 4.
Not ordinance.
That is not about the.
That's the fiscal year 26 budget.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought he was bringing up the building. Okay.
Everybody knows, I don't know, the board didn't know, we already have a code enforcement. Higher the 19 last months. And with the weather, he working part-time. Mr. Aerosmith, we check his background. We sent him up there, he did the drug test, he passed it, everything is fine. We check his background. So, I'm not understand the board right now, we working under the charter of Mason, where the mayor, he have the right and fire the employee, but we're not going for a contract. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have an ordinance that says that the code enforcer is appointed by the board and
Yes.
serves at the pleasure of the board.
Yes.
The mayor gets to vote on it, yes,
Yes.
but it cannot be solely you hiring the code enforcer.
Is,
It's,
sorry to cut you off.
Is our city employee.
Sorry to cut you off. Again, since we are at a special call meeting, we want to
Yes.
limit discussion to what is on the agenda. This is simply a formality. It's just a
reallocation.
it's a second reading of the ordinance to amend the budget. The authority to hire and fire shouldn't be discussed because this is under
that's
the
what he's
ordinance.
addressing.
I understand, but this is, if we could just stick to discussion involving what's on the agenda, and that's
Okay.
the second reading of the ordinance to amend the budget.
All right, I did a motion to second the motion.
I made a motion.
You hadn't read it all.
I just,
You didn't read it, everything that's here.
okay, the person, he said the first motion, you can read.
I make a motion to accept the ordinance to amend the budget ending June 2026 by reallocating funds currently in the budget. Do I need to read the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. Whereas the town of Mason, Tennessee is subject to the provisions of the municipal budget law of 1982, and whereas the town code annotated,
Annotated.
I know that.
I'm sorry.
Annotated 656-203 permits municipalities to reallocate the dollar amounts in the current budget. And whereas the Board of Mayor and Aldermen has determined that it is in the best interest of the town to reallocate said amount, now therefore be it ordained by the Board and Mayor and of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen that Section 1 to reallocate the funds in the amount of $103,000 currently budgeted in the Fire Department Equipment Code 100-74000-5113 to be dispersed and as follows. Section 2 to reallocate $14,000 into the fund titled Professional Fees Other in the Fire Department 2026 budget to ensure funds for a fire department consultant. Section 3, furthermore, to reallocate $53,700 into the general fund to be coded as professional fee other for 1 year of payment to satisfy the terms of the contracted work with a municipal code inspector. See contract number 100-7000-5033. Section 4, to reallocate $5,779.09 to the fire department training line item as shown on the current budget code number 100-7000-5021. Section 5, whereas the remaining amount of $29,560.91 is to stay in the general fire department equipment expense for the remainder of the fiscal year. Section 6, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its final passage.
I have first by Alderman Mason, who is the second,
I second.
who is the second?
He said,
Second, Alderman Joanna. Any the vote, any more questions? Any the vote?
Rivers, yes.
I'm sorry.
Mason, yes.
Can't use this line.
Mary no. You destroy the town, guys. It's really good. Spend money on that.
You said yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got Van, yes. I've got Harris, yes. I've got Mason, yes. Rivers, yes. And I've got Roberts, yes. Curlin abstained, and the mayor voted no. So that's going to be 6-1. The vote passed.
All right. Closes prayer.
No, we still have new business,
else?
no business.
We have new business and old business.
What
That-
do you do?
It's five.
We changed the order.
You don't,
Oh,
New
the,
business,
when you
old
abstain,
business
that's
was
not
put in
counting.
the wrong
What you
order.
said,
You said
6-1.
six.
It's 5.
It's 5-1.
well, the new business and old business,
You said
that would be
It's fine.
what was
Thank you.
discussed already.
We didn't discuss it.
You would have to put it on the agenda to discuss it.
No, it can be in new or old business.
You have to be specific.
I think let me see, where's the agenda at? Yeah. Yeah, I would, since we did put it new and old business at the top, it would lead to believe that the new and old business would be 3 and 4, and then it goes to no other business to be discussed. And you can't make an amendment to a special call meeting.
I know you can't. That's why I just reversed it at the very beginning of the meeting. So you're saying we can't reverse the order?
At a special call
Once
meeting.
it's in the, on the, it was just a mistake in the way it was written.
I understand.
So we
Understand.
can do that.
Board meeting.
Understand.
Okay. All right, we're closing prayer by Alderman 24 next.
Let us down. Father God, give us the strength to get through this, I don't even know what to say, but to get through this, the democracy and the personal effects of everybody's decisions, to make our competent decisions for this town. In this, I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you, Carson. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Tomorrow's a bad day. Thursday, Friday, one of those. I'm gonna be in Memphis all day tomorrow.
In the old communication. And it was just a mistake in communication.
All right, so good to see you again, sir. You take it over.
I was unaware of that communication, but going forward, what I would try to do is get it on the agenda. That way, just
Because he would not let us put all of these.
Maybe you can give her an idea how to phrase it, where
Yeah.
all of it will fall under that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
category, because we
Absolutely.
need to handle that
Yeah.
ASAP.
Okay.
Well,
can-
I won't have an opportunity to put it on agenda again until we have another special call meeting.
No,
Because he
you,
won't-
no,
he
you,
won't
no,
put it
no,
on
no,
his
no.
agenda.
I'm telling you to help you come up with a title that can, all of it can fit under, so we can put it on the regular agenda. Even if we have the motion on that agenda to have it added.
Yeah, we're happy to help with the agenda.
Does he have a
The problem is that we're going to incur all of these expenses and we won't have to pay them. Because
we
we have
don't.
not read this policy
Yep.
to terminate and so
Yeah,
this is gonna cost us.
it is hard, it already hard. Because you got this man that sits here, that's being paid and the board voted for him not to even be hired. We got money, you talking about folks spending money, you talking about folks that, stealing money, that's stealing money.
That's why. That's it.
What gives me is the folks that want to stand up and handle what needs to be handled. You got folks around here, you don't vote for not to be here and the man paying them anyway. That's wasting the town's money. I don't care if it is, he is got a bug. I don't care.
paid 24 hours.
Yeah.
10 days
Ain't
late.
nobody over there sleeping in that darn thing.
Write a letter to the Tennessee
Having
Fire
sex and everything else.
authorizing me to have access to the fire commission records regarding the fire department.
Oh, and that's something else I would tell you.
I
We,
just didn't know.
let me say this, let me say this.
The
We
person
in
that the fire commissioner needs to be sent to and also
There
copy
is
me.
that grant.
Okay.
Could you do that?
I will see if I'm able to do that. I'm going to,
Those folk
No,
come
I
and
mean,
they.
either you or the mayor, but the mayor left.
We ain't-
you really want to, because he brought you on, Mr. Kentrell. You want to let him know that you want this letter, and that if he can't do it, that you're asking that the recorder do it. And if he said no, and that if he's fine with me doing it, then I don't have a problem.
Well,
But yeah, go through.
no, I mean, I'm gonna be at the Tennessee Fire Chiefs all week this week.
Are you?
I was over here all last week, but of course he wasn't here.
Right, right. So go to him first and just tell him that if he can't do it, then, that you've asked the recorder and she don't have a problem doing it. That is, if he don't want to, if he don't do it.
No, okay.
But, give me the okay.
Other
to
places
go ahead
I've
and
worked
do it.
at, the city recorder's written the letters. So,
Yeah, so just, you let me know and whatever that I can, do.
All right.
Will you be here, will you be here tomorrow?
I'll be at a state conference all week.
So you will be here tomorrow, you have to call or whatever, on the contact.
I'll send you an email probably.
Yeah, do that, please, Mr. Contract.